Hello, everybody. Welcome to Talk About Houses. I'm Todd.
I'm Juana.
Okay, so today we're going to talk about the top 10 cities with the highest housing bidding war. Like these cities had the most. I don't know where they got their data from. This came from Redfin.
Okay.
So I don't know where Redfin got the data from. It's based on Redfin data. Now, Redfin, first of all, Redfin is not in every market. Meaning you can go online and you can see houses, but that doesn't mean Redfin has offices there. So Redfin, what they do is they have a business model where they either have agents that work at their brokerage or they have these partner agents that work for other agents, other brokers, and then they get paid a referral fee for basically working leads. Okay, so they go, hey, we got someone who wants to sell. They show up and you go, oh, this is Redfin's program. You do the work and then you send some commission to Redfin in the form of a finder's fee. Okay, so that's how Redfin works. So we're going to go right now and we're going to talk about it. Then we're going to try to define bidding war after we get through and do that. Okay. Okay. So we're going to put up the cities here. I think the thing that surprises me the most, Sacramento doesn't surprise me. Seattle doesn't surprise me. Colorado Springs doesn't. San Francisco doesn't really surprise me. Denver doesn't surprise me. El Paso, Texas, though, I'm just like, it says 87.5%. Now, I think that means is that on 87.5% of all listings, they had more than one offer. Is that a bidding war? Is it a bidding war if it went above list price? I don't know. But when I look at some of these cities, Minneapolis, what's going on there? Raleigh, that's obviously a tech. And there's probably a lot of people who fled New York City went there. But Colorado and Denver wouldn't surprise me because Colorado's super popular. Washington's popular, no taxes, but all of these are 78% and higher.
Right. Well, because they're looking at the top 10. So, how do we define bidding war?
Well, I think the average person would say if list price is a reasonable market price, and in slow markets, and let's just get this straight, slow markets are best for real estate agents. Like we love that market that the median homes appreciate at 4.6% a year. Okay, if they just did that all the time, it would be very easy for real estate agents because it's easier for us to predict what a house will likely sell for. It's easier for us to talk to our buyer clients to tell them about whether a home is overvalued, undervalued, or whatever. Okay, and this is very difficult. So I would say if a home is listed for $475. And we look and go, well, one just sold for $475. It closed yesterday. It's the exact same house. We look at the pictures, exactly the same. And your client goes, I'll pay $475. So you call up the agent the day after it's listed, go, hey, we saw the house online. We're going to make an offer for $475. And they said, we have 3 other offers already, and we're taking highest and best. I would call that a bidding war.
Right.
Because now you're being told it's competition. Because normally what happens is a house sits on the market for 2, 3, 4 months and you kind of wait. You wait for somebody to kind of feel good about the house. You wait for that perfect buyer. But right now we don't have that. We have more of a frenzy.
Right.
People trying to get into owning real estate for a couple reasons. So that's, how would you define it?
Right. So, I would definitely define it as having more than one offer on a property. And that generally means that it's going to result in selling for over list price. But a bidding war is definitely having more than one offer on a single property.
I think what surprises me about this list, and that's sometimes, like I said, we don't make up data. We just take data that we find and we talk about it, what we think it means. And what I think surprises me about this is that Vegas isn't on here and Austin isn't on here.
Right. So I think that's because these numbers are so high.
It could be. It could be that Vegas was 78.1% and it just missed out.
Right.
And that could be a number of reasons. But, San Francisco has always, as far as I know, because we have a ton of friends there. We know that market pretty well. We spent a lot of time in San Francisco. That it's always been a market where as soon as the house comes on the market, it gets multiple offers because there's so much wealth.
Well, there's so much wealth. There's not enough inventory for the number of people that are willing, able, and to purchase these properties. So that's really what the thing is.
Right.
Low inventory and higher number of buyers.
Yeah, and higher number of extremely wealthy buyers who, work at a tech startup that just got, bought by Google, and now, 34 engineers that working there became multimillionaires, and they're like, hey, I'm going to go buy a house.
When they previously all bunked up one
Yeah,
on top of the other.
they were splitting they were each paying $1,500 a month and getting, sharing a bedroom somewhere in the city, and now they're going to go buy a house somewhere.
Which, good for them.
So I just think that it's, I think this is interesting. I think El Paso, Texas would probably surprise most people. I don't think anyone would pick El Paso.
No, I would not have picked El Paso.
And we do have an update coming where we're going to talk about Austin, because we have some pretty good data for what's going on in Austin, Texas. But I would expected to see Austin in here as well.
I would have too. And I would have expected to see maybe Miami or someplace like that, but that wasn't here. And I think it's because, like I said, that these numbers are so high that the other markets that we would have expected to be in there were maybe just a little bit shy of what these were, and we're just looking at the top 10.
So what's going on? First of all, if you live in one of these 10 markets, tell us, in the comments, anecdotally, what have you seen? Tell me a story about your neighbor who put their house on the market and sold it in a weekend and told you they had 17 offers or something, and you're shocked by how much money they got.
Right.
And then the other question I have is, if people are getting that much money, why aren't other people saying it's overvalued, I'm going to sell?
That's true.
Because you're going to have to subscribe, because we've got a video that's coming out shortly where we dig into some numbers and predictions for the next 12 months.
Right.
So we're going to predict the next 12 months of home prices, whether they go up, whether they go down, and it's all backed by data. And not only that, we're going to share everybody from Fannie Mae to Freddie Mac to Bank of America to Zillow and what all of them said home prices were going to do in the next year.
Yes. So is it that your neighbor doesn't have anywhere to go? Or is it that your neighbor doesn't believe that this is the top of the market? I want to know what you think. So leave us a comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, like the video, share the video, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.
Bye.